congratulations, you made it halfway through the week. We're not yet there, but we are getting there. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Let's get you up to speed with some news that you could use right now.
Rise and shine, beautiful people. I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. Let's get through this Hump Day Wednesday with a dose of laughter, good vibes, and unstoppable energy.
And I'm Monique Tuzon. Your mornings are always mo fun with us. Join us in the next hour and a half for stories and conversations that matter.
Dumoble yung mo fun
It just
niya.
randomly.
Mo fun.
Yeah.
Bakit? Why is it mo fun today?
Because it's Wednesday. It's halfway through the week. We're almost done. So we need the vibes, the
It's not
energy.
Momo fun today. It's Mo fun today.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
Triple.
I
It's
don't know.
always fun with me. It just depends. Do you want fun, or fun?
What's the difference?
Fun,
Energy
fun,
level
fun,
ko.
under the sun. Fun, under the sun.
So, no, the funny thing is, all right? No,
I don't know what song that is, but all right.
I decided to write her own theme song, but I am really excited because just a couple of days ago, we accidentally ran into, apparently, in the works, na may theme song tayo soon ata.
I know.
If I'm not
we
mistaken.
heard that.
We heard a
Bilyonaryo
preview.
theme song.
We were so confused kasi palong-palo yung theme song.
What does palong mean?
Like, you know,
Super fit.
how do we explain
Like
palong-palo?
it was fit. It was really fit for the show. Like
You hit.
Yeah.
No, I mean
Like saktong-sakto for the show.
I don't know. No, that's not what I meant.
Oh, what?
I think for our
Oh, see, I don't know.
generation, it
Like
means that it makes you go like slap the air.
Like a
Yeah,
beat.
like it's a bop.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
you say
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
bop.
No.
The air. I was like, what?
No, I mean like yeah.
Like it's a
Just
tube
say
song.
it.
Okay.
There we
Let's go
go.
back in
Okay.
time together.
Tubes.
Let's go back in time together.
Ah,
Break
sige,
po tayo
go.
sa Jupiter.
I did not grow up here.
Let me help
We
me
will
help
educate you.
Okay? Late 2000s, early 2010s, okay?
Okay.
Punta tayong Fiamma. And then, the music is bumping, and then you have like a light beer in one hand, and then
This is
you
not
hear
helping.
the sounds, and then you're slapping the air. You're slapping the air.
Magpa-play na si
You know what? I'm
Flow
actually
Rider.
All right.
Florida.
Cruise.
Tayo Cruz.
Oh my God. You know what? I'm actually
God.
glad I did slap the air with you back in the day. I would be so
Ayan,
embarrassed.
Like, yeah, but
With my coffee.
Just say tugs.
Yeah, tugs.
Hey. Oh, Momo
Oh, to
fun
be
this morning.
fair, it medyo timeless siya because Anne and I had very different college lives.
Actually, and I'm so
but-
surprised
pero
Anne
we
knows
were
all of
insane.
them.
Pero Jupiter pa rin.
Where's Jupiter?
It's in Makati. It's in Makati. That strip there used
Like
to
in
have all the
Poblacion?
college bars back
Yeah.
then.
Parang Poblacion. It's kind of like BGC back then.
Was it? Okay, this is gonna be super conyo. But was that Pobla before Pobla?
Oh my gosh! I have never called it Pobla ever.
The kids call it Pob. I called it Pob. I used to call it Pob.
Oh my gosh, that's a
So it
Konyo
was
thing.
pre-Pobla.
Huh?
It is a Pobla.
It's Pobla now, right?
Yeah.
But then when I was growing up, I remember calling it
Pob.
Pob. I never called it Pobla. And I only used to go there before all the hostels
Oh my
opened up,
God.
before
My
all the bars
goodness,
opened
you
up.
are so
when there
conyo.
was
Wow, we
a
learned so
Thai
much about
restaurant
Paolo
nearby.
this morning.
Whatever, guys. Whatever. Basta, we have a theme song
Yes.
coming ata. Yan yung point ko.
Anyway, yes.
Bro.
We just found out so much about you. But anyway, yes, we do have a theme song, and it's a bop. That's all you guys have to know. I don't know when
you may
it's
know
going to be
more
released.
about me, but we know nothing about Mo.
We know so
That's
much
it.
about me
We
because
know
of you.
nothing about
Because we gotta
Mo.
keep it mysterious.
But you know
You
what?
gotta keep it mysterious.
You know
Guys,
what?
it's
Let
mysterious.
us go out there and give you something that you should know. Anne.
Exactly. If you are just about to leave your homes, let's take a look at the traffic situation. This morning, let's check out the roads in major thoroughfares this Hump Day Wednesday. Let's check on the situation along EDSA, Quezon Avenue flyover. On the left side of your screens are vehicles going to Quiapo. As you can see, you'll be hitting the brakes on that lane. On the opposite side, vehicles headed to the Quezon Memorial Circle, still free-flowing on that stretch. Now let us take a look at EDSA Orense in Makati. Ooh, on the left side of your screens is the southbound lane going to Pasay, already starting to build up Moderate to heavy traffic on that stretch. On the right side is the northbound lane going to Shaw Boulevard. Everything is still free-flowing at this time. Now, the expanded vehicle number coding scheme is in full swing. Since it's a Wednesday, vehicles with license plates ending in 5 and 6 should be off the road right now till 10 a.m. and again later from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Let's find out how hot will the weather be this Wednesday. Paolo gives us today's forecast from Weather HQ. Take it away, Pao Pao.
Thanks so much for that, Mo. Let's take a look at the local weather where the easterlies will continue to prevail, affecting the entire country, resulting in humid and warm conditions for most areas and rainfall, particularly over in Davao, right over here. Now, cloudy skies along with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms are expected over in Davao Oriental, Davao del Sur, Sarangani, Basilan, Sulu, and in Tawi-Tawi. Now, residents in the said areas must be prepared because these moderate to heavy rainfall could lead to flash floods and landslides. However, let's take a look at Metro Manila and the rest of the country where you can expect warm and humid weather that will persist with the possibility of isolated rain showers or thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon. Now, taking a look at the sea conditions and how it's all affected by that, there are no gale warnings in effect. So, maritime activities can continue. However, sailors should still stay vigilant for potential weather changes. Now, for those who are confused with the air temperature and the heat index, well, let's give you a bit of a briefing. Now, the air temperature is what you see on the thermometer, but the heat index, or the feels like temperature, tells you how hot it really feels. Now, it takes both the air temperature and humidity into account. When it's humid, your body struggles to cool down. So even if we do say the temperature is around 30 degrees Celsius, it might feel more like 38 degrees. That's why the heat index is so important. It actually shows what the weather actually feels like and helps you stay safe in the heat. So according to Pag-asa's latest forecast, here are the areas experiencing the highest heat indices today. Under the danger zone are Legazpi, Albay, Virac, Catanduanes, and Pili, Camarines Sur, with a heat index of 43 degrees Celsius. Also in the danger zone is San Jose, Occidental Mindoro, with a heat index of 42 degrees Celsius. Now, such high temperatures can lead to heat exhaustion, cramps as well. Heat stroke being a risk from prolonged exposure, it's important to make sure that you stay indoors and keep hydrated. Now, under extreme caution are Masbate City, Rojas City, Iloilo, and Tacloban Leyte, where a heat index of 41 degrees Celsius is expected. Now, continued exposure to these temperatures could lead, as we mentioned again, heat cramps and exhaustion. So it's recommended to schedule the strenuous activities in the early parts of the morning or in the evening, or as it gets to the evening when it's a bit cooler. Now, let's take a look at Metro Manila. The feels-like temperature may reach up to 39 degrees Celsius. So to all the commuters out there, street vendors, and everyone in the metro, make sure you stay hydrated and avoid the prolonged exposure to the heat whenever possible. Now, technically speaking, it's not yet officially summer, but several places in the country are already feeling the intense heat. As Paolo Barcelon reports, doctors also have reminders to their employers.
Metro Manila experienced hot weather yesterday with temperatures reaching to 39 degrees Celsius. Despite being slightly cooler than Monday's 46 degrees, some are already finding ways to beat the heat.
Nagdadala ako ng mga extra payong gano'n para hindi ako mabilad sa araw o ano. Tsaka para hindi ako pagpawisan agad.
Kung minsan, I ride the free bus kasi malamig siya. Ibang klase yung lamig niya kaysa yung sa UB Express.
Remote workers like Isid Olivares cool down by getting chilled drinks. Aside from getting a cold caffeine fix, she says it's also one way to save energy.
I do live like mid-upper floor na. So tumatagos talaga yung init. It helps calm me down because of course the heat kind of heats up your head then kind of rises up your temper. So it has a cooling effect, calming effect as well.
Some concerned citizens took footage of what appears to be teachers who are suffering under the sun. Teachers applying for promotion and applicants to teach in Manila were lining up. TUCP Representative and House Deputy Speaker Raymond Mendoza says workers should not feel dehydrated or suffer from heat exhaustion. They call on the Labor Department to implement an advisory that instructs companies to ensure that workers are treated fairly by providing them drinking water, properly ventilated workplaces, and flexible working hours. Doctors like Dennis Ngo approve of the idea.
Alas 10 hanggang alas 4, ito yung pinakamataas ang tinatawag natin ultraviolet exposure. Hindi lamang sa heat index, ito po ay nakakasama sa balat at nagkakaroon ng sanhi ng mga sakit sa balat.
Doc Dennis says work-from-home arrangements can help ease work stress, especially for those who do not require face-to-face contact for work. He also believes children and seniors should not be left in the sun, especially from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Drinking water and wearing comfortable clothes are also very important. Pagasa says heat index temperatures on Wednesday may reach up to 39 degrees. Paolo Barcelon, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Well, that's it for Weather HQ at the moment. Back to you, girls.
Thank you very much, Pao. In other news, the Bureau of Fire Protection calls on the public to be extra vigilant, with 7 fire incidents already recorded on the first Monday of March alone. Speaking on BNC's At the Forefront, BFP spokesperson Anne Asis-Carilo says electrical overload is the main source of fires. This comes following a fire at Purok 11 in Alabang, Muntinlupa City, where damage is pegged at 2 million pesos.
We suggest na doon po talaga sa main plug po main outlet, doon po tayo. And if it's a cell phone, meron naman yung alarm. So be responsible to set the alarm for probably an hour na charge na yan or something like that. Kasi meron din tayong mga kababayan na they settle for mga substandard because nga mura. Pero the effect is mas napapamahal pa. And worse, may namamatay.
The BFP is also calling on the government to procure fire trucks and to recruit additional firefighters so they can better respond to emergencies.
In every society or in every community, one fire truck is a big security na rin, para sa community. Naka-base tayo or naka-dependent tayo sa procurement. And when you say procurement, funding.
A House prosecutor defends the chamber from criticisms over its last-minute decision to approve the 4th impeachment complaint against Vice President Sara Duterte. Speaking with BNC's On Point, Manila 3rd District Representative Joel Chua says they had to make sure the case is strong enough to withstand scrutiny.
We cannot compare yung part ng Congress sa Senate. Kasi kami, magbi-build up kami ng case. Of course, you do not want to file a case na medyo tingin mo malabnaw or medyo hindi maayos. Unlike din sa Senate, ministerial ang trabaho nila Pakikinggan lang kung may basis o may merit yung mga ginagawa namin. Ang pinakamahirap kasi yung magbi-build up ka ng case
In the same program, Bataan 1st District Representative Geraldine Roman remains hopeful the Senate will begin the impeachment trial soon and can only surmise what may be causing the delay.
There might be other factors that are not openly discussed. I'm a politician myself, and half of the senators are running for re-election. Maybe they're scared na maging electoral issue ito. And of course, pag na-convince sila, baka may magagalit sa kanila, mabawasan ng boto nila.
Senate President Chiz Escudero says the Commission on Appointments may tackle allegations against newly appointed Presidential Communications Office Chief Jay Ruiz. Ruiz allegedly failed to immediately divest from his private business interests before accepting his position in Malacanang. Politico reported that Digital 8 Incorporated, associated with Ruiz, supposedly bagged a 206 million peso contract from the Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office in 2024, few months before he was appointed in PCO. Ruiz vehemently denied the online article and called it fake news.
Let me clarify that story. Actually, I did not want to dignify the story, kasi it's fake news. It's fake news. Unang-una, I don't own a share. I'm not a stockholder. I am not an owner of Digital 8. I was an authorized representative to represent the company in the joint venture agreement between IBC 13, DG 8, and PCSO. I never owned that company. So, parang ginawa lang nila as representative dahil may konting pangalan naman tayo, ginawa akong parang spokesperson ng kumpanya, head ng sales and marketing noong October 2024. And in January 17, dahil nga may mga iba naman na akong inaayos na negosyo, ako po'y nag-resign sa kumpanya. I never owned a single share of Digital 8. So maliwanag po yan. Can you imagine? 206 million, paparatangan ka ng ganyan, na hindi ka man lang kunan ng panig, na hindi ka man lang tawagan.
The Bureau of Immigration in hot water after failing to give clear answers on Alice Guo's illegal exit from the country. While the former Bamban mayor is already in custody, Senator Riza Ontiveros says the Senate needs to know how she was able to flee the country last year.
As of this time, we don't have any information kung saang ports or subports nakatakas sila Guo siblings, Madam Chair.
The BI is given 15 days to give the Senate answers on Guo's exit. Otherwise, Ontiveros threatens the agency's revamp.
The Bureau of Immigration cannot be this inutil. To Commissioner Viado of the Bureau of Immigration, with all due respect, please consider this an ultimatum, a revamp beginning with the Commissioner himself. Napakahalaga po ng trabaho ninyo.
The Commission on Elections dismissed the petition seeking to disqualify the Tulfo family in the 2025 elections. COMELEC Chairman George Garcia explains it is insufficient in form. He adds there should only be one ground for disqualification in the petition. Petitioner Virgilio Garcia cited political dynasty and citizenship issues as basis for the disqualification of siblings Ben, Erwin, and Wanda Tulfo Teo, Senator Raffy Tulfo's wife Jocelyn Hua Tulfo, and their son, Quezon City 2nd District Representative Ralph Tulfo. On Thursday, the poll body is expected to decide on another petition to disqualify Erwin Tulfo, also due to political dynasty.
Now here's an update on the Pope's health. The Vatican says Pope Francis has remained stable throughout the day on Tuesday. That's after the 88-year-old pontiff suffered 2 episodes of acute respiratory insufficiency on Monday. The Vatican adds the Pope has now remained without fever, alert, and collaborating with his treatment. Francis has been in Rome's Gemelli Hospital for more than 2 weeks after being admitted for severe respiratory infection. Now, in other world news, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau hits back at U.S. President Donald Trump, saying his new tariffs on Canadian imports were, quote, a dumb thing to do. This comes after Trump launched a trade war against Mexico and Canada. Trump declared Canada had failed to address the flow of deadly opium into the U.S., which Trudeau says is completely false. He also says Canada would challenge the U.S. measures at the World Trade Organizations and through the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade agreement.
Now, it's not in my habit to agree with the Wall Street Journal, but Donald, they point out that even though you're a very smart guy, this is a very dumb thing to do. We're going to choose to try to buy Canadian products and forego bourbon and other classic American products. And yeah, we're probably going to keep booing the American anthem. But let me tell Americans, we're not booing you. We're not booing your teams. We're not booing your players. We're booing a policy that is designed to hurt us. and we're insulted, and we're angry, but we're Canadian, which means we're going to stand up for each other, we're going to fight, and we're going to win.
In sports, it's on to the next for Asia's best pole vaulter, EJ Obiena, after failing to qualify for the World Athletics Indoor Championships. On his social media pages, Obiena says he is now setting his sights on outdoor competitions, such as the World Athletics Championships, the Asian Athletics Championships, and the Southeast Asian Games later this year. The two-time Olympian explains he has no more events left in the qualification period for the World Indoor Tilt in China, which runs until March 9. The men's world number 4 also says he has fully recovered from his back injury. Up next for Obiena, the Mondo Classic in Sweden, hosted by world number one Armand Duplantis on March 13. Now moving on to the NBA, another blow for the Dallas Mavericks. Kyrie Irving done for the season. The Mavs announced Irving sustained a torn left ACL after Dallas' loss to the Sacramento Kings. The 32-year-old even channeled his Mamba mentality, sinking 2 free throws before leaving the game. Dallas is already dealing with multiple injuries, including Anthony Davis, Daniel Gafford, and Derek Lively II. The Mavs sit 10th in the West and are looking to stop a 2-game skid on Thursday against the Milwaukee Bucks. Meanwhile, LeBron James is just a point away from making NBA history again. The King is on the cusp of achieving 50,000 career points. The ageless LBJ and the red-hot Lakers aim to extend their 6-game win streak later on today against the New Orleans Pelicans. LeBron is already the league's all-time leading scorer with 4 NBA titles and 4 MVP awards.
Now in entertainment news, we got good news for those catching up on the Oscar-nominated movies. The Brutalist opens in Philippine theaters today, exclusively at Ayala Mall Cinemas. The film earned Adrian Brody his second Best Actor award from the Academy. It also won Best Original Score as well as Best Cinematography. The story follows a Hungarian architect who flees Europe after the Holocaust and tries his fate in the U.S. as a visionary architect. So you already know where we are going this weekend.
I was waiting for her to say that.
Yeah.
Are you actually going to watch?
Yes, I am. Yeah. The Conclave and The Brutalist. I really want to catch The Conclave.
We'll ask her Monday.
Remember when she promised to watch all 10 MMFF
I know,
films?
right? Literally.
And then she watched how many?
Sorry.
None.
So we'll see.
But we'll come back on Monday.
I'm excited for her, see Adrian's performance.
I do want to see The Brutalist.
Because simply because he's one of the original Conyos.
Huh?
Brody.
It's not even. Oh my
God, that joke.
I was like, what? That was a good one though. I was like, he's not even from here. I was like, am I missing something? Is he Filipino?
No,
I'd easily forgive being drawing, but that joke. Oh, I'm on foul.
It's okay. That was a terrible good one. So I'll give it to you. Anyway, let's move on before Pao makes any more jokes. Millie Bobby Brown calls out bullies online who are saying she is aging so badly. The 21-year-old star took to Instagram to slam reporters writing think pieces at her expense with headlines saying she was, quote, mistaken as someone's mom, and, quote, what has Millie Bobby Brown done to her face? This bullying started after Brown appeared at the Brit Awards, where the internet scrutinized her more matured looks. Brown told the press to stop amplifying hate that could be damaging to other young women like her.
We always talk about supporting and uplifting young women, but when it comes down to it, it seems a lot easier to just tear them down for clicks. Disillusioned people can't handle seeing a girl become a woman on her terms, not their own. I refuse to apologize for growing up. I refuse to make myself smaller to fit the unrealistic expectations of people who can't handle seeing a girl become a woman. I will not be shamed for how I look, how I dress, or how I present myself.
We've got more stories and conversations for you after the break. Filipino-American marathon runner Deo Jaravata will join us live after the break to talk about completing marathons in 7 continents. Yeah, it is. I can't even run one. So don't go away. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. hello, welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Now, from mathlete to athlete. Pao came up with that, by the way. Thank you, Pao. He was so pissed earlier that it was on the prompter and he wasn't credited, so there you go. So we have Filipino-American Deo Jaravata. He's gone beyond teaching math to achieving his running goals by completing marathons in all 7 continents. So now let's find out more about it. Deo now joins us live in the studio. It's a beautiful day. Deo, thank you for coming this morning. Paolo also made a joke that you ran here this morning.
No.
He could have. Naka-leather shoes though, so I should have thought.
No, I can't. It's traffic.
Well, anyway, I mean, 50 states, all 7 continents. That's incredible. And we've done a bit of research about you. I think you got your running spark, I guess, from Forrest Gump. Is that correct? Because he keeps, like, you know, Tom Hanks just kept saying in the movie, I just kept running.
Yeah.
So is that
the
what,
accent.
no, I'm not going to embarrass myself anymore. But is that what inspired you?
Yeah, actually, like 96, that's where I saw Forrest Gump movie, and they have this kind of like running, kind of like, except the scene there. So then at the same time, I went to see the Atlanta Olympics, 1996. I love going to the Olympics. So I go there like every 4 years and like watch the Olympics. I only miss Athens. So I even like went to Paris like last year. Wow. And even ran a marathon, the public marathon there.
Oh my gosh.
So like, and the same time, my oldest sisters used to run a marathon. I used to drop her off in LA Marathon. And after like 3 hours, after sleeping, probably I'll just go back and watch her finish the marathon. Then I keep telling myself, one of these days I'm gonna run a marathon. I start training. Then all of a sudden, like, it's okay. I don't like to run. It's too, it's boring. So not till 96 I started running. I joined running clubs. Then, because I got this kind of like depression, like, oh my God, I'm already 30. I'm not financially secured. There's something missing. And somebody told me, what do you like to do? Oh, I love sports so much. So why not join a bowling club or anything? So then I joined a running club. Then at the same time when I started running, like in the park, like I started with 3 miles, then 4 miles, then 5 miles. My 2 friends asked me, why not? Let's do LA Marathon next year. Let's train for it. So we did. And I finished it, and both of them got injured. So,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Well, is that the start of yung runner's high mo? Because that's one of the terms that is really
Yeah, I think the
about.
runner's high, when you reach about, I think as early as 8 miles, then you have this runner's high.
Yeah.
Seems like you don't feel any pain. But sometimes I think now I'm older, I think I don't get it anymore. So it's kind of like, because
So
I'm
it's
a lot
all pain
slower.
the entire time.
Yeah, like all pain, like all. But the thing is, I know how to finish a race. So it's kind of like I'm mentally strong.
Right.
Yeah, but and the thing is, I seldom. I think I never get injured because I know
the preparation.
Yeah, and I know when to. I don't push myself. There's like no pain, no gain. But for me, it's different. If there's a pain, there's something wrong. So if I'm kind of like cramping, kind of like I can feel something, I do my walk breaks, and I can still finish the marathon.
We were talking about that off air, right? That now, because you're a bit older, you pace yourself during the race, right?
Yes.
So you have completed marathons in 50 U.S. states, 7 continents, and you have just finished your 48th country, right? Because I think your goal is like 100 countries, and natapos mo na 48 countries, right? So what so far is the most challenging for you?
Challenging, I mean,
The most
race.
challenging race ever that you have joined?
I think the most challenging race is the Antarctica Marathon.
I was going to say.
How did you like acclimatize to that?
No, because what happened, like, you have to go to you go to Argentina, and Buenos Aires there for 2 nights. Then you fly, like domestic flight to Ushuaia, which is kind of like the tip of Argentina. Then you catch the research boat, kind of like the Russian research boat. Then you go there for like probably, I think 10 to 12 days on the boat. But I think on the 6th day is the marathon.
Okay.
So they're saying, and sometimes then you take this small, kind of like they call it Zodiac, to put you in the land.
Yeah.
Then sometimes pag yung dagat, maalon, you won't be able to do, because I think 1 year, but I think 1999 they did that trip, but they cannot go to the land, so they did the marathon in the ship.
Oh my gosh,
Upper deck,
crazy.
lower deck, upper deck, lower deck. But for us, we're lucky because we went to the land. But the thing is, I did the 42K So we have to do this 13-mile distance, the half marathon. Then you have to do it once. And there's like a half-mile glacier that you have to climb.
Ooh.
At first, like, it's okay. Then the second time, like, what's this? Seems like there's a machine that they put it's like steeper. And it's a little bit icy.
Yeah, so
but,
you have to be safe.
But I finished, so.
Well, congrats. I mean, I just want to know how you train and how you prepare physically and mentally. Physically being like every place you go to has different climates, different weather, right? And then mentally, how do you just prepare mentally to finish a
Yeah, because I think
marathon?
when you start a marathon, like, for me, I already have the base. So, but if you're starting a new runner, you start running like probably 1 mile, then all of a sudden 5 miles. Like you build up, and you have to join running clubs because that's how you get motivated.
Right.
And some running clubs and the members there, they will support you. And now we're luckier now, the runners now, because they have the social media, and through the social media, they can advise you. So when you do it step by step, then you get in. Because for me, when I first did my marathon back in 97, I started running 96, and I trained for the marathon right away. And I thought it would be my first and last one.
Yeah.
Then after like 16 miles, I cannot run anymore. It's just like I hit the wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then every time I start running, ang sakit.
Yeah.
So I already, I need to finish this. And when I finish, I told myself, probably this is the last one, or if I do one, probably once a year. Then I got the marathon bug. Then 2000, I thought, 2000 is, I like to do one marathon a month. So I did every month. Then my last December, it's a local marathon in Los Angeles. And I got injured in November, so I didn't do it. And actually, that was my last injury. I can't even remember what type of injury.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then the following year, I like to do 12. Then I ended up with 15. Then I told myself, hey, I can do more marathons. And I met other people who does that. So now probably I do like 20 a year.
That's so
Wow.
casual.
And
I know, people can't even do one.
so 20 a year now. Then since I retired 2 years ago, then I have more time traveling, going to different places. And like now my next goal is to do 100 countries. So I'm halfway there. I'm not even like, the first quarter is not even done. I'm going to Africa, Oceania, like a lot of stuff. So.
Yeah, that's incredible. You mentioned that you just retired a couple of years ago. First of all, congratulations. You look at the fact that you ran away from math to be able to keep on running.
Yeah.
This lifestyle that you have here, it feels like it requires a lot of discipline also. Taking care of yourself. There's always those maintenance runs. There's always making sure that you're healthy, both physically and mentally. Is that ever a struggle for you, keeping that discipline, or talagang nakatatak na sa, I guess, a daily mo?
I think I got used to it. Like especially for example, like I go to run in say like warm weather here in humid. I'm not used to it. So like every time I see a hill, I just walk it. And some people, they're running it. Then the second half, then they start running down, and I pass a lot of them.
Yeah.
So like...
Sunog na sila.
Yeah, just like I did last year. I went to Coronadal. There's a race there. And after like 500 or 400 meters, there's a hill right away. And everyone's running, no, you have to walk. Like you have to pace yourself.
Do you care about the time?
I used to.
Yeah.
But now... You have to respect your...
Just care about finishing.
I'm not that... I'm almost 60, so... Like, I can feel... My body can feel it.
Right.
And my friend told me, you don't have nothing to prove. You already done this much marathon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And every time I'm slowing down, I say, oh my God. Then I keep, I have nothing to prove. I have nothing to prove.
Yes.
So I have that mantra.
But speaking of time though, because I know now you're not conscious of time, but what was your best time before?
Okay, my best time is 3:29.
3:29.
But this is a downhill course.
Where was
so,
that?
Okay. Yeah, so
yeah, I know.
yeah, easier.
It's easier. But the thing is, with the downhill course, it's easier. But some people cannot do it because of the
knees.
The downhill,
the impact.
and your toenails. You get dead toenails.
Yeah.
And downhill courses, it's harder to recover because you force myself. The gravity forces you to run faster. And sometimes you're like, I cannot take this. It's too fast. But probably about 8 years ago, I can do like under 350 easily. I do the first half between 140, 146. Then after that, I relax the second half. I can still break 4 hours. But now I cannot even like break 2 hours now in the first half. It's just like, it's not the same anymore.
You know, just as important as finishing the race, napaka-important din ng recovery, right? And then you
Yes.
mentioned a while ago that downhill races, mas difficult ang recovery or mas matagal ang recovery. So how do you manage yung recovery period mo of your body?
So usually the following day, it's the harder one. So what I do, I just walk a little bit. I do collect, just like when I did Tel Aviv last week, last Friday. So after the marathon, my friend told me, "Oh, you're gonna rest?" No, I need to walk this because para mawala
Just keep moving.
And plus the massage. So my friend told me, "Wag dito sa Tel Aviv, mahal dito magpamasahe." So yesterday I had a 2-hour massage. So like.
But a while ago, in the makeup room, you were telling me about this cruise marathon that you did. Like, so within a span of 7 days, you did 6 marathons, and that's crazy. How does your body, adjust to that short recovery period?
Yeah, because when I do the first marathon, so what I do, we go before we went to the ship. We did the marathon 1 a.m.
Okay.
And we have to finish a certain time, so we had breakfast and go to the ship. So when it's good because it starts raining, and I love when it's raining. So na-finish ko, so maganda. Then the following day, we have to go to the boat. Then instead of, people that go to a tour, we're the first one to get out of the boat, and we drove to this place, and then nag-marathon kami. Then,
that's crazy.
Ang init. Then umulan, ang init. I was thinking like, I cannot do this a lot faster because after this, I have 4 more.
Yeah.
So you have to pace it. It's like a marathon within a marathon.
So wait, just to clarify, how many marathons did you do and how many days?
7 days, 6 marathons.
7 days, 6 marathons. Just a reminder that the origin of a marathon, one person did it and then he died.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
That's the origin of a marathon. He did the marathon in ancient Greece. That's where it came from, because he came from one place to a place called Marathon.
Okay.
And he ran the entire length, I believe 21.
I think
26, something like that. Yeah. And as soon as he got to his destination, he died. And he did 6 of those.
In 6 days.
In one week.
It's crazy.
Sabi na 26 dati, din nagdagan na ng point kasi
Because of the
Queen.
London Olympics.
Yeah, the Queen wanted the finish line to finish in front of, to be in front of them.
I think it was Oxford, I think.
And actually, I did Athens Marathon last November.
Really? How was that experience?
It's not really scenic, but but it's very historic because it's the origin of the marathon. Then, and the last 3 miles, you go to the city and you finish inside this marbled stadium.
Yeah.
It's really, really nice.
I mean, it sounds like you've done almost every marathon possible.
Every worthwhile marathon.
Exactly, actually. But is there one that you still want to do, to check off your bucket list before you call it quits?
North Pole naman, Antarctica.
No,
It's already done the Antarctica.
I think it's budget-wise, it's expensive.
Yeah, I'm just getting to Antarctica.
There's this like 7 in 7 days to go to the 7 continents. But when I look at the price, like 40,000 euros.
Wow.
No, forget it. I'd rather donate that money to,
Yeah.
poor people, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like to do Istanbul. I like to do another marathon, a marathon in Spain.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I already have a list. Just like I think I'm going to Africa in July. I'm doing probably 3 or 4 marathons there. In August, I'm going to Oceania, like Vanuatu, Tonga. So then October, I'm gonna do Central America, Kazakhstan, yung may mga Turkmenistan.
Yeah, Central Asia.
Yeah, the Central
exciting.
Asia. So.
Yeah. Wow, that's so
Yeah,
fun.
but the one that I'm planning this year, hopefully, I'll be back end of June. I like to do my 600 in the Philippines.
Oh, nice. Well, hopefully we can watch you.
Yeah, probably around July, probably
Okay.
mid-July.
Oh, okay.
so.
We'll watch out for that.
We'll see you at the finish line because we're not running.
Definitely not. We'll be there with food, cheering you on.
Yung recovery food mo, saging, whatever you need.
I don't know. Every time I finish, I like salty fish rice.
Really?
Salty
Oh,
fish,
baka
right?
that's the
Wow.
secret.
The salt.
That's
I
your
think that's salt.
post-race nosh?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's salty. Yeah, I like salty fish.
Kasi
And
you
I
have
drink
to
a lot-
replenish all the
yeah.
salts that were
And
lost through your
Coke,
sweat.
I don't know. I drink a lot of Coke after the
Oh,
marathon.
noted.
you need all the
After
energy.
running, you need all the
yeah.
sugar.
Salt and sugar.
but after
Yeah.
the marathon, I'm not hungry at all because I have this power gel that I.
Yeah, the carbs that you
Yeah,
have
then after
during-
that I'm full. So probably after 2 hours, then that's the time I start.
Perfect.
Yeah, well, before we go, Deo, do you have any advice to our viewers who want to start running a marathon?
Okay, so before they need to start running first and starting running.
Train.
Train, right? I think running is kind of like for most people it's kind of like boring because you run, and you need to find a club, a running club, and
Right.
that those people will help you, motivate you. Then after that, train for the marathon, you start doing a 5K, then probably after a month, then 10K, then go to a half marathon and just increase it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you have to feel, your body, like
Right.
if it's hurting, there's something going on. So probably have stress fracture or something like that. And the shoes, you have to have right running shoes for you.
Yeah, I mean, Deo, thank you for coming this morning. I'm blown
So
away
inspiring, yeah.
by your story. It's incredible, but thank you again for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Filipino-American marathon runner Deo Jaravata.
Now, after the break, we'll get a chance to speak with Dr. Jose Rene de Grano, the president of the Private Hospitals Association of the Philippines via Zoom, to talk about the increase of pneumonia cases in the country and the potential threat of the newly discovered bat coronavirus. Oh, Lord. Stay tuned. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back.
Get to the latest stories.
The Philippines bags a historic bronze at the 2025 Asia Pacific Women's Lacrosse Championship.
The updates.
Table tennis power duo siblings brought home medals from the WTT Youth Contender.
The scores and what to celebrate in the world of sports.
I'm Anton Rojas.
And I'm Erica Christensen.
On the scorecard.
Where sports is our business.
Business is our sport.
Only here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. This is Weather HQ. Now, in recent months, there has been a significant increase in pneumonia cases across the Philippines. That is raising serious concerns within the healthcare community. Now, joining us today via Zoom is Dr. Jose Rene de Grano, the president of the Private Hospitals Association of the Philippines Incorporated, to discuss the current state of pneumonia care in the country and the role of private hospitals in addressing this rising health concern. Magandang umaga po, Dr. de Grano. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yes, it's a beautiful day, Paolo, Monique, and Anne. And yes, good morning.
Doc, let's start off first with talking about the pneumonia cases here in the Philippines. It felt like just a few weeks ago, a few months ago, it felt like everyone either had it or knew someone who has had it. Is there a spike? Is there a surge in terms of the numbers when it comes to pneumonia cases, especially those treated by private hospitals?
Well, there is a little bit of an increase noted among the hospitals, primarily because of the changes in weather conditions. For the past, I think, 1 or 2 months, a lot of rains. Medyo ang weather natin is not that good, no? So that's why we expect the highly vulnerable parts of the population, like the young ones, and then, of course, the elderlies to, usually they're the ones that get this pneumonia.
Well, you mentioned it was weather-related, and when you take a look at the way that it's being treated, being diagnosed, are there any challenges or significant challenges that hospitals typically face when addressing pneumonia?
Well, of course, right now the private hospitals are ready for that. It depends on the source of or the cause of the pneumonia. If it's only viral, usually it's only supportive. We just give medications for fever, medications for additional, hydration. But then if it's caused by bacterial pneumonia or bacteria and then fungus, and then that's a different case because we'll have to treat them using antibiotics. And usually these antibiotics cost a lot. Yeah.
You mentioned that a lot of the affected populations or affected patients are typically those are at risk, children who are in certain situations, even the elderly. And for those who are concerned about those more vulnerable people, how can they help prevent the spread of pneumonia for them in particular?
Well, of course, we have pneumonia vaccines. These are available in our country. Usually, they are given once a year. But for the elderly, they can give pneumonia vaccines, which are good for the next 5 years. And these are the pneumococcal vaccines. And I think these are quite available in our hospitals.
Well, you mentioned the vaccines. I actually want to talk about the technology involved in treating pneumonia, especially here locally. How in step are we, in your opinion, in regard to how we treat pneumonia in the country compared to the rest of the world?
Well, I think we're up to the rest of the world. As long as we have the proper antibiotics, then we can treat our pneumonias very well. The hospitals are ready. They have all the antibiotics, the medications, the instruments, the equipment for this pneumonia. And so it's only the availability sometimes of the pneumococcal vaccines. And right now, I think they are available.
So let's talk more about pneumonia, but in a different lens here, because pneumonia actually has made the news as of late, simply because of Pope Francis has been affected with what they call double pneumonia. Now, for those who don't quite understand what that is, could you give us siguro a layman's explanation of what double pneumonia is and why is it so difficult to treat?
Well, the human beings, we have two lungs, So if sometimes usually the pneumonia is affecting only one part of the lung, and then of course in the case of the Pope, I think both lungs are involved, and so it's double pneumonia. And then of course it was very hard to treat, because probably sometimes the bacteria affecting the lungs are already resistant to the antibiotics, and so that's it.
And of course, we're all going to be hoping for his recovery as well.
Yeah.
But let's also focus on another thing that's made the news here. That personally, it shook me a bit because we're talking about another potential form of coronavirus, which is, I believe, the bat coronavirus that has been found by a Chinese research team that has the potential to be transmitted from animals to humans and uses the same receptor as the COVID-19 virus. When you take a look at that type of news, that type of development, what are your initial reactions? What does it actually mean? And how worried should people be when they read something like that?
Well, of course, it's still not, it's not prevalent yet. It's not even documented among humans. But then, of course, just because the mode of transmission is very similar to COVID-19, and COVID-19 caused a pandemic worldwide, and so that's the problem, and that we're trying to expect that hopefully it will not be the same as the COVID-19, because that will entail a lot of risk among us. But right now, I think we should just be aware that this wildlife, including bats, may pose a lot of threat to our body. Yeah.
Well, sort of from a hospital perspective, when you hear news like that, and we already experienced a pandemic very recently, in terms of preparedness, has the latest pandemic that we all experienced together change the way that we prepare moving forward for any other potential outbreaks, or at least in terms of trying to contain any potential outbreaks?
Yes, of course we are, and we are now more prepared than ever because everybody was they were caught unaware of the COVID virus, But then right now we are already prepared for that, and even probably this new, hopefully it does not come. This new bat virus should, if ever they will come again or come here and affect the humans, and we should be ready. I think they are already preparing something like a vaccine for that, just in case it happens. Yeah.
Well, he is Dr. Jose Rene de Grano, the president of the Private Hospitals Association of the Philippines Incorporated. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and we hope to talk to you again soon. Magandang umaga po.
Good morning, Paolo, and the rest of our viewers. Thank you.
All right, so that's it for Weather HQ. Back to you, girls.
Thank you, Pao. Don't go away, because when we return, we'll get updates live from Capitol Hill as Trump prepares to address the Congress today. Stay tuned. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Now we got some world news updates as U.S. President Donald Trump is preparing to give his first address to a joint session of Congress since he took office for the second time. His theme, the renewal of the American dream. Voice of America's Jessica Stone joins us now live from Capitol Hill. Hi, Jessica. Thank you so much for coming on our show.
You bet. Good to be here.
So I know the world is watching right now, especially with what just happened with Trump and Volodymyr Zelensky. The U.S. just put a stop to its military aid to Ukraine. So with all that has happened in the past few days, what do we expect to hear from Trump today? Or
well,
I guess
there is
later.
In a couple hours time. And there is some reporting actually just coming across the wires now that we could hear actually more specifics about the mineral deal that was scuttled last week and that it will be signed. That's just coming across from Reuters. We expect to hear, of course, more broadly, President Trump's position on the Ukraine war, why and how he's seeking the peace deal that he is, perhaps a timeline for that. And of course, as you mentioned, it does come just hours after the U.S. paused military aid to Ukraine and after Pete Hegseth, the defense secretary, said, we are going to pause as well cyber action and cyber operations against Russia. So essentially advancing a carrot to the Russians, a stick to the Ukrainians to get them both to the table. We have seen then since Zelensky issuing a fairly lengthy social media report in which he said he regrets what happened last Friday and that he's ready to sign this deal and that he has security guarantees from Europe. Monique?
Well, Jessica, Paolo here, and the theme of this talk with Congress is going to be the renewal of the American dream. This feels potentially very broad. When you take a look at the topics that he is most likely to address, I know sometimes that may be a bit difficult with the way that he may go off script from time to time. What topics are we expecting to hear from?
Well, I think we are going to see things through that prism, right? Whether it's tariffs and justifying them, and the ones that were launched, of course, just today against Canada and Mexico, and those against China, justifying those in the context of what consumers are paying at the pump and at the grocery store, the price of eggs, all of these things, very real to most Americans who will tune in tonight. And also a big part of what put Trump in the White House, the economic policy and the feeling that Americans had that voted for him that he would do better on the U.S. economy. So we'll also hear this justification for the tariffs, which is he wants companies around the world to move to the United States to make things, to avoid tariffs. Of course, it's not entirely for sure that they will do so. In some cases, analysts are saying that companies will actually move just to non-tariffed nations like the Philippines, like Vietnam, or perhaps Indonesia. But remember, tariffs in and of themselves were kept under the Biden administration. So we have seen some impact. Of course, these are much higher. But we also could hear, for example, something that was just floated over the weekend, an affordability czar that the Trump administration is floating to kind of manage the day-to-day explanation about what the Trump administration is doing on prices and on consumer goods. Also, we should point out, this is really the first time Trump's back on Capitol Hill since taking office. It's his chance to directly appeal to Congress for things that he wants. We know he wants more money on the border, and he wants that big, beautiful bill, as he calls it, passed to fund the government before March 14th. If that doesn't happen, there's a shutdown, which will affect all federal workers more immediately than perhaps the layoffs that are hanging out there in the distance could.
Now, Jessica, some news reports are saying that Democrats are not really planning to boycott this speech, but there are certain senators that are saying they are not attending. Will the opposition party be attending later speech?
They will. As you mentioned, not all of them will, but there is not a sort of call for a boycott by the Democratic leadership. And so what we're going to see is a give and take, the likes of which we saw under Joe Biden as well. With the opposition party, we expect to see blue and yellow ties on some of the Democrats who want to forcefully articulate a vision for Ukraine that is not the same, perhaps, as the Trump administration. We also know that everyone's bringing White House guests that will forcefully underscore their issues that are important to them. We know that the Democrats are bringing fired federal employees, Americans impacted by budget cuts such as Medicaid and other healthcare programs. The inspectors general, some of those that are fired are expected to be on the Hill, and then the White House also doing the same thing. We know that they have announced they're going to have a fallen NYPD officer, his widow, sort of a nod to some of their rhetoric on violent crime. Mark Fogel, the freed Pennsylvania teacher from Russia, who was freed under the Trump administration, and family of Trump assassination attempt victim from the shooting in Butler. That was that fire chief who took the bullet that was meant for President Trump at that Butler, Pennsylvania. That was the first assassination attempt. So we may also, given that, we may also get a reference to sort of his belief that he is a person that was meant to be, that the universe and God meant him to be here in the White House at this time. We'll have to see how he responds to what he sees or his guests, because often presidents do make a reference directly to those that they invite to their box.
Jessica, first of all, thank you for all of the report and all the updates. This is your first time here on the show. We're really glad to have you here. And
it's great to be here.
Personally, just taking a look at the coverage that you guys have to do right now, covering President Trump, I can only imagine just almost the anxiety of every single message that you guys get. Can you tell us a bit more about this experience covering this administration? Because it feels like every other day there's a new headline to talk about.
Well, I may be a few years older than you, Paolo, but I also covered Trump #1. And this feels a lot more organized than Trump 1 because, of course, the Trump administration was not expecting to even win the White House last time. This time, they definitely did expect to win. They had a plan for doing so. So I would actually say while there's a very fast pace and the pace is faster of rollouts of policy initiatives, overall, it's more organized. That said, it's market moving. It's definitely impactful. And here in Washington, you really feel the impact of the DOJ federal cuts, the DOJ missives that have gone out asking people to send emails. I mean, that's very deeply personal to people here in the area, since tens of thousands of people work for the federal government in and around the community that I live in.
Jessica, it's so funny. You mentioned that you may be a couple years older than me, but you look a couple years younger, and that's the most important part.
You look younger than Paolo.
That's the most important part of that entire statement, and we really appreciate you being on the show again here today.
Yeah, and we hope to have you
Good to be with
again.
you guys. Yes, and you've got family around the Virginia area. You know that they're probably talking about what's happening with jobs at the federal government, too. It's something a lot of people are talking about. We saw some protests outside our building today. from people trying to support federal workers. There are job fairs already emerging for federal workers in case they're laid off or if they already have been laid off. So this is very much a company town. I've worked in other company towns for major Fortune 500 companies during layoffs at Kodak and Xerox and Carrier Corporation. This is the feeling that I'm experiencing here in my own community now.
Right, I'm definitely feeling the same. I'm getting all the updates all the way here from the Philippines. Again, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much, Voice of America correspondent Jessica Stone.
Great to see you again.
Now on to more national news this morning. Former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque hits back at Senator Risa Hontiveros for raising his possible whereabouts during a committee hearing. The senator said Roque is possibly in Macau after he traveled from Dubai, then Shanghai last December. Hontiveros then asked who is helping Roque, who is now wanted in a congressional hearing for his alleged involvement in a pogo hub raided in Porac, Pampanga. In a statement, Roque said there is no warrant of arrest against him and he is being pursued not as a criminal but as a resource person.
Search and rescue operations are underway for one of the fighter jets of the Philippine Air Force that went missing in Mactan, Cebu. The aircraft reportedly lost communication during a tactical operation Tuesday at midnight. The Air Force refused to give more details.
The Philippine Air Force is conducting extensive and thorough search operations, utilizing all available resources to locate the missing jet fighter aircraft. Our primary concern right now is the safe return of our aircrew. We are hopeful of locating them and the aircraft soon and ask you to join us in prayer during this critical time.
Now we find out how our luck is shaping up today. We find out from resident energizer and feng shui master Hans Kua in our horoscope of the day. Take it away, Master Hans.
Good morning! It's a beautiful day with Master Hans Kua. Ito po ang horoscope for Wednesday, March 5. Para sa mga pinanganak ng Year of the Rat, ang pagiging supportive ay magpapalakas sa relasyon nyo. Orange at 4. Kaya ako naman tayo iwasan ang impulsive buying upang makaiwas sa mga pagpapautang. Yellow at 5. Tiger naman tayo mag-focus sa pagpapabuti ng skills upang maabot ang goals. Pink at 1. Rabbit naman tayo mag-ipon para sa malaking proyekto na hinaharap. Green at 9. Dragon naman tayo, ang leadership mo ay mapapansin ni boss. Red at 8. Kay Snake naman tayo iwasan ang sobrang puyat. Mahalaga ang sapat na pahinga. Purple at 7. Ito naman, Sir of the Horsey, ang sipag mo ay magdadala ng magandang feedback. Orange at 4. Kay Year of the Ship naman na mag-focus sa priority task para sa magandang resulta. Yellow at 3. Sa mga Year of the Monkey, mag-explore ng bagong skills upang ma-boost ang magandang career luck energy. Orange at 4. Kay Rooster naman mag-focus sa investment na may long-term benefits. Green at 9. Doggy naman tayo, ang simpleng sorpresa ay magdadala ng kilig sa inyong relasyon. Red at 5. Kay Pig naman tayo, regular na stretching ay makakatulong sa physical health. Yellow at 2. Ako po si Master Hans Kua. Paalala lang ito po ay patnubay lamang. Ang tunay na swerte ay nagsisimula sa pagiging totoo. Abangan po ang horoscope for the day. Dito lang sa It's a Beautiful Day!
Thank you so much to our Energizer Bunny, Master Hans Kua.
Now we have got more stories for you after the break. Coach V returns for today's Love Hacks. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Keep it here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel. Hello and welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Dating Coach V settles the age-old debate. Who pays for the first date? Take it away, Coach V.
If a guy pays, is he a true gentleman or is he just trying to impress you?
If he doesn't, does that mean that he's modern or just played kuripot? Good morning, loves. It's a beautiful day. Coach V here, bringing you a brand new way to level up your love life. Welcome to Love Hacks. Loves, if you want to understand what a simple act of paying reveals about a man's mindset and what a woman's response says about her femininity, stay with me, because this episode might just change how you see dating forever. Did you know, loves, that 84% of women in a 2023 global dating study said that they prefer when a man pays on the first date? And did you know that men who pay without hesitation are perceived as 40% more attractive? Men who confidently take financial initiative are seen as more dependable and capable, not just in dating, but in leadership too. That's why today, we're breaking down the real psychology of paying for dates, what it signals, when it matters, and how to do it without awkwardness. Here's the truth about who pays and what does it really mean. According to science, money and leadership are closely linked. Another study published in Evolutionary Psychology found that women naturally associate financial generosity with strong leadership and long-term stability. So, what does that first date bill really say about a man? Why, huh? Because historically and psychologically, financial leadership builds trust nga daw. It's not about who has more money. It's about how someone chooses how to show effort and leadership. So, loves, let's break it down right now. What does a man's response to the bill actually say about him? Well, we're gonna put this into test. Let's call on the help of my fellow host to do a little bit of demonstration. So let's act this out. Scenario number 1. The bill arrives and the guy instantly pulls out his wallet and says,
I got this.
Ooh,
Oh,
what?
thank you.
Love it. What does that tell you? Confident leader, takes initiative, and my provider mindset. Oh, who doesn't love a provider mindset, no ladies? Now, scenario number 2 naman. The bill comes out. The guy hesitates, looks at the girl, then slowly says,
How do you want to do this?
Ooh, what does that tell you? Either he is unsure about the date or he's naturally kuripot. Either way, not a good sign. Now let's look at scenario number 3. The bill comes out. The guy leans back and says,
KKB, diba? We're splitting this?
Nako, ano to, business meeting? Is he closing a deal or going on a date? Thank you, Pao. Thank you.
Pang-famas yan, guys. Pang-gao durian yan.
Galing, ah.
May future na ako.
Oh, yes. Ladies, real talk lang. If a guy is already calculating the bill this early, nako, paano pa kaya sa future nyo? Di ba? Parang mas kakabahan ka. Now, men, let's be honest naman. If you like her, would you really think about the bill? Nako. If he expects you to split without discussion, it changes the dynamic from romantic to transactional. Who would want that on a date? A date is about building connection, not splitting an expense like business partners. Loves, paying doesn't mean buying someone's time. It means acknowledging the value of the moment. And a man who can confidently handle something as simple as dinner, that confidence carries over to bigger things in life. So, you may be wondering, loves, when should men pay? Oh, this is it. Let's see. Number 1, he pays if he asks for the date. You should take the responsibility for it, diba? Extending the invitation means setting the experience, so owning the bill is part of that. Whoever initiates pays. Number 2, if he chose the place, he should be mindful of the cost. Because if a man picks a high-end restaurant, tapos over the budget pala ng date niya, no? But then he struggles to cover the bill. It sends mixed signals about his ability to lead. It's about the leadership, loves. And number 3, if she offers to contribute, would you accept it, Pao?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
I would.
I would. He can accept it, but with grace.
Yeah.
So, a confident way to handle this, eto. You can say, siguro,
Wait lang. Tama ba to?
No, but you already said you're gonna accept the
No,
bill
no, no.
from her.
May script. I'm reading the script.
Yes,
all right?
we're
The
learning
script
so much
says-
about Pao.
Yes.
All
Okay,
right?
go.
Go ahead, Pao.
I've got this one. You can take care of the next.
Yes. So
Thank
it's
you.
actually a man taking the leadership and making the woman feel comfortable. Na it's okay not to pay right now. I got this. But you will have a chance next time. That means secured na ang second date. It keeps the moment light as well. Also, it sets up
Strategy.
reciprocity, di ba? Loves, again, the key here is intentional leadership, a very attractive trait when it comes to dating. It's not about who can afford it more. It's about how a man chooses to show effort and security. Now, ladies, this is our turn. When should women step up naman? Women, this isn't about sitting back and expecting to be taken care of. It's about knowing when to allow and when to receive. High-value women don't just take, they respond with appreciation and grace, a very important response. Now, when does women take charge or step up? Number 1, if he pays, acknowledge it. A simple thank you, I really appreciate that, makes all the difference. Studies show that men feel most respected when their gestures are acknowledged.
Oh, yan.
That's true. Yeah.
Totoo
Diba?
yan, yeah.
It is true.
I remember my most favorite line that I've received after I paid, which was, "Thank you for sharing your blessings."
Oh, that's so cute.
Charity case?
Tawang-tawa ako, but then tumatak talaga, promise. Tumatak talaga.
Now, ladies, nagkaroon na tayo ng script hack just right now. Number 2, if he insists naman on paying, don't fight it. Let him. Allowing a man to lead financially isn't about dependency. It doesn't take away from your strong independence energy. It's about letting him express through the action, di ba? He shows his care. Now, number 3 naman, if you want to contribute, do it thoughtfully and with art, okay? So, if he pays for dinner, what you can do is you can offer to cover dessert or coffee after. That also extends the time of your date. This creates balance without making the date feel like a financial negotiation. Because I do believe, no, a romantic attraction is very far from transactional connection. So, loves, relationships thrives when both partners know when to lead and when to receive. A strong man leads and a confident woman allows space for that leadership. Now, here are some pro tips. What if it gets awkward now, huh? Let's talk about those awkward moments when the bill arrives and no one knows what to do.
Oh, no.
Okay?
That's a sign.
Yes.
If no one knows what to do when the bill is there, that's a sign.
That's so awkward.
It probably did not go well.
Yeah, so let's look at scenario number 1. If he reaches for the bill, ladies, pause and let him. Yung ibang ladies kasi sometimes they try to reach out from their bag as if they're getting their wallet. Tapos pag reach out, lipstick lang pala yung kinukuha nila.
Oh my goodness, who does that?
So
You do that?
sometimes,
No.
also women feel like there's a need to offer out of politeness, but in reality, men really appreciate being able to take the lead, or at least good men. Number 2, if she offers to split, now men, please do respond smoothly. Instead of debating and fighting over the bill, you can say, I got this one. You can take care of it next time. This keeps the moment light and it shows confidence. Now, number 3, if neither of you moves, naku, what happens?
Kala mo libre,
Yeah.
para hindi.
Diba? So it's a sign that neither is sure about the other. So quick question, Pao. Is it true that when you start thinking about who pays for the bill, that means hindi mo masyado gusto yung date mo? Magpapasikat ka ba kapag gustong-gusto mo yung date mo?
Hindi, ako yung policy ko iba eh.
What's your policy?
If I ask the person out, I'm
You pay for the
I'm paying
bill.
for
But
it.
if she asks
Even
you
if it's
out,
even if she asks me out,
What happens?
Do you offer to pay for the bill?
Yeah, no, I offer to pay the bill.
Okay.
I feel like Pao likes being taken care of.
Baby Pao.
No, because it's true.
Alright.
What matters is also where you end up going. If your partner ends up asking you to go somewhere more expensive,
Yes, then you can
na
afford.
over budget mo, normally you already voice out concerns. Baka hindi ko yan afford or baka hindi ko yan, at this moment, right? And then if the partner says, "Oh, ang bahala," then there, that's when.
Then you allow them.
Yeah, I mean, like it sometimes that could happen, right?
Sorry, Pao, to put you on the spot. Going back.
I'm ready.
Loves, if a date already feels like accounting, maybe the spark isn't just there. Now, Coach V has some pro move to avoid awkward bill moments and make your date fall in love. So, gents, if you really like your date and you'd love to step up, this is how you do it. You excuse yourself. You say, I'm just going to go to the men's room and then settle the bill secretly.
Yes.
You do that?
Yeah,
Did you
I
ever
do
do that?
It's so. I'm sorry. I'm so proud of that. No, but not just you go to the restroom and say you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes she goes to the restroom and then you.
And then you settle the bill.
Give the bill.
Absolutely.
Or even beforehand, you already give your card.
Correct. That's
And then
Or you tell the waiter,
Yeah,
whoever's
normally
in here,
you
like,
build a rapport.
Yes.
Yeah.
Babayan.
Yes.
Minsan
No,
strategy
not
din
even.
yun.
Just make sure the
Strategy
girl
talaga.
doesn't.
No, I mean, that's another strategy. I'm just
Don't
saying.
let your partner know.
You know, galit. I'm just
Yes.
telling you another strategy. Grabe naman.
Building on this one.
Minsan strategy din yun ng girl. If they don't want to pay, restroom muna ako.
Restroom muna. Tapos hindi na lumabas ng restroom after 24 hours. Alright. So you know what? Because sometimes it's not really about the bill. It's that moment when the bill comes out and both of you are looking at each
That's so
other,
awkward.
not knowing what to do. It's so awkward.
Yeah.
So final reality check tayo, loves. A real gentleman pays because he wants to, not because he has to. And a real lady, they don't demand. She allows and gives him a lot of appreciation. Dating isn't about money. It's about effort, generosity, and mutual respect. So if a simple dinner is already creating stress, because of the bill, maybe the issue is not the bill. Maybe it's the person that you're dating. If he's hesitant about paying, it might reflect about hesitation about other things. And so if she expects everything without appreciation, maybe she values the wrong things then. So a quick way to tell if you're into them, eto yun, if you can't decide whether someone should be paying for you, maybe it's because you're dating the wrong person. What's your take on this? Should men always pay? And should women be happy with splitting the bill? Let's continue the conversation on Bilyonaryo News channels, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And remember, loves, this is very important. When a man pays effortlessly, it's never about the money. It's about how he values that moment with you. And when a woman allows herself to receive, it's not about being dependent. It's about trusting the connection and letting the man lead. Again, this is Coach V, giving you a real talk about real love. Join me again tomorrow on It's a Beautiful Day. Love you. Ladies, how would you feel if the date goes like, can we split the bill?
Then I'll pay my half and I will never see him again. That's the first and last date.
Wow, really?
How about you, Anne?
I think if it's the first date, I'd like the guy to pay for it.
What if he says, like, I'm paying
split
50?
the bill.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna walk
okay,
out?
I'll pay. But yeah, just like
but then-
Monique,
I feel like the
don't
first
ever
date,
call
the
me
guy
again.
should always pay unless the
Yeah,
girl
yeah.
asks. But I feel like in the beginning, the guy should show.
But what if
that
the
he's
girl is the one who
capable.
asked the guy out?
That's what I said. Unless,
Still,
It's
the
not
guy
first
should
counted as
get
first
the bill.
date.
No, but I said unless the girl's the one that asked the guy out, then I feel like the girl should pay.
No, I think if it's the first date, kahit the girl asked for that
Okay,
date.
but tayo here.
No, I think.
And it's okay because by the end of the day,
But
it
you know
really,
what's really
it really
awkward,
depends
Coach
upon
V?
you.
It's
What
when
is
you
it?
itemize it. Like, okay, I
Oh
ordered
my
this, ito
gosh.
sa akin na, and then ito yung tax, I'll pay
Oh,
you
does
this.
that happen to you na?
No.
What
But
dates have you been
I know,
on?
I'm like, oh wow, that's
never happened.
It hasn't happened to me on a date, but sometimes my friends would do that, and it's so awkward. So I can just imagine it happening on a date.
You know why, Anne?
Yeah.
It sets a wrong tone. Parang instead of, di ba, relationship, you're sharing stuff. Di ba? You're sharing a lot of things. Tapos pagdating sa bill, nag-KKB kayo, kanya-kanya.
Well, I know we have a lot to talk about. Let's continue this on Facebook, Instagram, and I think you have Twitter as well. So let's continue it there.
Yeah,
because this is a long conversation.
For those who are as upset as we are at Anne right now, please message at Voice Talentita and tell us all how, tell her how we all feel, because we all disagree with her. All right? So that is it for us this Wednesday, March 5. Ako po si Paolo del Rosario. Maraming salamat, Coach B. We always appreciate you being with us. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. Thank you for making us your daily morning habit. And always remember, it doesn't matter who foots the bill. What's important is you know your worth and you tip generously.
Yes. And I'm Monique Tuzon. Have a great hump day ahead. Join us again tomorrow at 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. only here on
It's a Beautiful Day.